Good morning, everyone. Today's lesson is going to be a little bit more fast. We are going to focus on how to do the assessment 18A. This is going to be a test grade. I'm going to review what the assessment looks like, what to expect, and how what the expectations are for the exam. So we're going to go ahead and get ready. So I've opened up the assessment 18A, new read assessment 2. And this is exactly how it's going to look for you. So right now I have it as how students are going to be able to see it. And we're going to review what you're supposed to do. Okay, so the directions say you will read a set of questions and answers from Jim Murphy's website. As you read, think about Murphy's perspective and approach to writing, and how his answers make you think about an American plague in a new or different way. Then answer the questions to demonstrate your ability to comprehend informational text and analyze them from structure and the author's perspective. So those are the things that you're going to do throughout this assessment. So here I have provided you with a link, and it says make sure to read Murphy's website before starting the assessment. So your whole test is based on this website right here. You click the link, it opens up this website that says 2 times Newbery Honor Book winner Jim Murphy. So this is a website that is designed to ask questions to Murphy, who is the author of An American Plague. And first they have these, I think it's in regards to a different book, but these questions still apply to him. So some of the questions are, what were you like as a kid? Were you a good student? What happened in 7th grade? And actually, if you click one of these questions, it tells you, it sends you to the bottom of the page directly where the answer's at. So as you see, all it did was scroll me down to where the answers are. So what your job is to read everything that's in here, the questions that they're asking him, the information that he's giving you. And in other words, what they're doing in this website is they're asking him questions, asking Murphy, the author of An American Plague, questions, and he's just answering what he was like as a kid, what his inspirations were, how long it takes him to write a book, if he likes writing, what is his process like. So it gives us a lot of information. That's why it's an informational text. So your job is to read through this website. It's very quick, very easy. Just get all the information that you can, and then you go back to the attendance form, to the assessment form, and they have a couple of multiple questions. So there's a total of 5 multiple questions, and then there's a next button, and in the next button you have a couple of open-ended questions. So I estimate maybe for you to take 30 minutes doing this assessment. It's pretty easy. The first question is a little bit tricky, so I'm going to go ahead and review it with you. So it's saying, which of the following best describes the idea Murphy conveys in his response to the second and third question in his website? So what they're asking you is to go into the website and look at his second and third questions, which would be, were you a good student, and what happened in 7th grade? So you can either click the question and it'll take you directly to where the answer is. They're right here, were you a good student, what happened in 7th grade? So you would read what he's telling you there, and then you would come to the answer and choose the best option. And that's kind of how you're going to do the rest of the questions. So what does Murphy mean by the phrase catches my fancy? When he says that since 7th grade he has been reading books. So in there they're already giving you a clue that it might be under what happened in 7th grade, or one of these questions. So it's just about finding the information. It doesn't mean that the answer is going to be word by word there. You obviously have to critically think about the answer, but it's pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to put whatever responses right now just so I can get through the rest of the book, the assessment. Do not write these answers in. I'm just guessing. Okay, so we get to the second part, where it's the written responses, and you have questions 6 through 11. So these are going to take you a little bit longer. But if you follow instructions, it's going to be super easy. So here it's telling you use Murphy's website as reference. You should not copy and paste. Responses need to be in your own words. Make sure you meet the sentence requirement or you will not get credit. So it's the main thing. So with our last assessment, what I noticed is that a lot of you are not even answering incomplete sentences. A lot of you are just copying and pasting from Google, from each other. And just know that I read through every single test. And I know when it doesn't sound like you. I know when it has similar responses as someone else, when you've just changed a couple of words in the sentence. In the end, it's obvious. So please save yourself a 0 or having to redo the assessment and just do it right the first time. So the only reason why you should be using Google is to look up the dictionary definitions if you don't have a dictionary at home. So here it's saying using a dictionary to discover the precise meanings. The precise means the exact meaning of the word. Inherently, as used in the phrase, I'm always searching for topics that are inherently dramatic. Okay, so what would I do here? Your response needs to be at least one sentence. So what they're asking you to do here is to look up the word inherently on Google. So you would go to Google, look up definition for inherently. Oops, spelled it wrong. Okay, and then here it says, in a permanent, essential, or characteristic way. So then I would take this definition and go to my attendance form and be like, the dictionary meaning of the word inherently means whatever the definition is, and they're asking you to discover the precise meaning of the word. So all you have to do is give me the definition, and now you can read the sentence not knowing what the word means. I'm always searching for topics that are inherently dramatic. Okay, so what do you think they mean by inherently dramatic? If it's saying that inherently means a permanent, essential, or characteristic way. So in this case, he probably meant he's always looking for topics that will cause drama like within itself. So one could be, I don't know, maybe not using school uniform. That could be inherently dramatic. Maybe a lot of people have different ways of thinking about it. So that's what they mean by that word. So then you would just type in your definition. Then you can move on to number 7. Look at how I only put one sentence because my response only requires me to do one sentence. Not all of them are like that. This one's 2 sentences, 2 sentences, 3 sentences, 2 sentences, 3 sentences. So it varies. So make sure that you're paying attention for that. Number 7 is, what do you think the word cataclysm means as Murphy uses it in his response of the last question? So they're obviously, when they're talking about Murphy's questions, they're talking about probably these. Okay, so he probably used it in the last one. And they're asking you, yeah, it's right here. They're asking you to figure out what does he mean by that. So something important that you would have to do here is they're not asking you for the dictionary term. They just want you to guess what you think it is. So you would go and read the answer and then you would give your guess. And what is your answer based on? So you have to write at least 2 sentences. So you could say, I think it means blank and blank because of blank and blank. And there you're done. And then part B would ask you about part A, which is use a dictionary to check your determinations. So now you would go and look that word up and then say if you got it right, what the definition is, and if you got it right, or if it was different, and why did you think you might have guessed the wrong meaning. So that's what those 2 go for. And then here, how would you describe the structure of the article? So then you would go and look at the way that the structure of the article is. So if we're looking at structure, we can see that first you're presented with the questions and easy access to the links. Then you would maybe try to talk about what the way that there's the style in which they're answering the questions. Is it in the first person? Is it in the third person? What is he talking about? Does it have a certain Is it organized in a certain way? So those are the type of things that you would write about in that question. And then here is what are the major sections of the article develop the central idea about Murphy. So here you would go back and see what are the central ideas. So central ideas are like the main idea. What are the main answers that they're giving you in these responses? What is the point of having this website? What are they trying to tell you? So then you would go and tell me here, and you would tell me what the major sections are. And then finally, the last one, what is Murphy's perspective on how to write informational text? How is he distinguishing his perspective from that of other writers? So you would have to first make sure that he hasn't mentioned it in any of his questions. I'm almost sure he did. If he did, then it would be an easy response. Just make sure that you answer in 3 sentences. And once you're done with that, you're done. And you can always go back to your previous responses and see if your answers are correct. So again, if you don't look at the article, you're not going to pass the assessment. You need to make sure that you look at the article, you read it up, you look at the details, and you use this website to your favor. Do not be looking up answers. Do not be copying and pasting. Remember, the only reason why you're going to use Google is to look up definitions, and the other thing you should be using is the website. Does that mean that I should go and copy this whole response and put it over here in my open-ended response, and yeah, I'm done, I'm going to turn it in? No, this is cheating. I don't know if any of us know that, but copying from Google, copying from another website, if those ideas and those words are not coming from your head, or you're at least trying to rephrase what you're looking at, it's called plagiarism. Plagiarism means that you are taking other people's work and ideas and making them your own, and it's practically like stealing. If you try to copy in that way throughout high school or middle school or college, you can get in a lot of trouble. So please, please, please avoid copying and pasting, avoid cheating, because I do not want to give you a 0. So please make sure that you're being honest with your responses and that you are doing what I'm asking you to do. This is all I have for today. I hope that this video helps you and that you don't have such a hard time doing it. If you have any questions, make sure to message me, and I hope that the video helped you. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye.